2D, 9(1) and 12(1)G of the regulations for contravention of Section 13M of the Statutory Instruments Act, Cap 2A. Yes, Honorable Oundo.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity and also put a word on this consideration of the Public Finance Management Government Press Fund Regulations 2025. And let me go on record as a member of the Committee of Delegated Legislation in the 12th Parliament. And fortunately, in those, is it fortunately or unfortunately, in the 12th Parliament, Honorable Chepkonga was not around. Your Honor, leave of absence, warrior sabbatical, he was not around. And indeed, the Honorable Speaker, while I was there were very curious issues. And by the time we were preparing our exit report, we made several recommendations to improve the workings of the committee. Number one, Honorable Speaker, any act of parliament, once it's been signed by, assented by the president, we normally have a tendency to donate or delegate powers to the cabinet secretaries or other accounting officers as the constitutional officer holders to prepare regulations, on the understanding that you cannot have everything in the act of parliament. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, there was a tendency for the cabinet secretaries to abuse that delegated authority. They abused it in several ways, Honorable Speaker. One, extending the mandate, extending and trying to interpret afresh all that particular provisions that they gave them those powers. To an extent, Honorable Speaker, they could even impose levies and some form of tax, almost like taxation, through the back door. And indeed, many times, we stood our grounds and told them as much. And many cases they were threatened, but we thought it was good for the country to make sure that we stand firm. Second, Honorable Speaker, there were many cases where government officers or cabinet secretary would publish a regulation. Before it's approved by the House, they're already implementing the regulation in terms of levies, enforcement, and those kind of things. It's good we went ahead again during this term to amend the Certain Instrument Act to stem that kind of blatant abuse of power. Honorable Speaker, as we stand here today, let me also commend the government press. For many of us, the Kenya Gazette held some kind of awe. Whenever you could hear the Kenya Gazette, you'd always think very many important things were there. And of course, Honorable Speaker, we must find a way of making them autonomous so that they can do their work judiciously and according to the law. But Honorable Speaker, it is important for us to understand we might probably in the future have a standalone act of parliament, if we don't have, to make sure that the government press truly remains an independent and an accountable government institution that serves all the people of Kenya. There were many instances, Honorable Speaker, you take a matter to the government press, it will never be published or placed in the government Kenya Gazette because somebody somewhere has deliberately interfered or given specific instructions not to proceed to gazette a particular matter. Honorable Speaker, many Kenyans, when they lose their documents, be it title deed, be it certificate of lease, be it academic certificates and the rest of kind of things, and even when you want to change your name, like the conman in Mbere North, you call Kenyatta Hospital, you go change your name, and some strange reason, you are cleared to stand for an election on Uda party, which you thought was a party for the rule of law. But that turned out not to be the case. So that we are saying, Honorable Speaker, they must serve all Kenyans. They must actually have a service charter that if I have to gazette the loss of my title, once I've paid the requisite fees, I should expect that gazettement to be out after a certain period of time, not to stay there forever without anything else. And I wish they could also work with a clarity, with the speed the way they worked in gazetting the impeachment of the truthful man. Now the truthful man has been impeached. He's causing sleepless night to quite a number of people. He's causing the butterflies to fly in many people's stomachs because the speed at which they hurry the process. Honorable Speaker, let me commend the committee, and I hope you have maintained the same spirit. If there's no public participation, adequate public participation, annul. If there's no memorandum or whatever impact assessment, annul. If it overstretches the mandate of the providing act, continuously annul. We must fix this country. We cannot become a country of praise and worship of bad governance. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Is there anybody else? Okay, fair enough. There being no further interest in this, I will call upon the Honorable Chepkonga to reply.
Yeah, I thank you, Honorable Speaker. In fact, I want to thank the Honorable Oundo, who is a former member of the Committee on Delegated